ask me, be getting a lot of messages, people just, looking it up, learned about it. So, yes, it is true. I am representing myself pro se, and I'm going up against, billion-dollar companies, man. So, it is what it is. I never thought I'd be, involved in this type thing, in my life. But, it is what it is, man. Things happen. You got to protect yourself out here. That's all I got to say. So what happened, sort of set the stage. A few years back, I purchased some rural off-the-grid property. I purchased about 5 acres of property out in San Bernardino County. So I purchased 5 acres. The reason why I purchased the land, because, we was vacationing in, up in that area, and I started to just realize, we was like in the 29 Palms area. A lot of people do Airbnb up there. So we decided to vacation up there for a couple of days, and I just saw everybody had land, everybody had space, and being down in Southern California, it's no space. Everything is crammed up together. So I was like, man, these people out here in the desert, living with, all this open space. They had the solar panels set up, and I just started to like it, man. I was like, man, I really like it. And this was around the pandemic time, and I was just researching things, wanted to do a change, and I was like, I saw 5 acres was available, and I was like, man, I'm about to jump on it. I was like, 5 acres. It's off of historic Route 66. When I first went out there to see the property, it had a lot of minerals on the ground and stuff like that. Just iron. You can literally put a magnet on the ground and it picks up a trail of iron. That's some of these minerals out there, jade rocks, just a lot of minerals, granite. And when I just decided to get it. I was like, my kids can have fun, they can run around. I can build tiny homes, just pretty much just having my own space, build it out how I want it, and just really have some serenity, you know what I mean? That was the main thing, just me being from South Carolina and then moving out here to California was a big difference. So I was like, man, I need some more land space, I'm used to, when I was young, I would go outside and play and stuff like that. So, I want my kids to be able to do the same thing, go out and play, enjoy the outdoors. So, I decided to get the property, that's just something I wanted to do, Everybody thought I was crazy. You just getting freaking 5 acres and nothing out in the middle of nowhere. And, I decided to do it. I was like, bump it. So, got the property. Kids love it. I loved it. Yeah, man, we was out there doing the whole homesteading thing, making improvements. I got into the solar power, got into the wind turbine power. So that's what happened. And was out there. So I brought it in 2022, and had it for about a year. Everything was going good. No one bothered us. It was just, the only people that would be back there is the train workers, the people working on the train, and the train coming by whenever that happened. But other than that, it was nothing much going on. You know what I mean? It was it was cool. Then I started the Mojave 66, the barbecue business, because a lot of the truckers in the area needed food. So I loved it. I loved just being in the area. I love telling people, I'm the only person in between here and there, people would be like, wow, man, you stayed out there by yourself, you crazy. So I just liked it. I liked it. I liked the space. I liked the freedom. I like, going to Home Depot, going to Lowe's, getting the tools, fixing stuff, just learning the whole process of building from scratch and building your own structure, just picking out different things. So, I was good. So, we got the property, living out there, everything good. And, I would say about a year in, so I'd say a little bit like around August 2023, that's when it started to get crazy. So, what started out in 2023. So, we in the tiny home. Me and my fiance, we just chilling out. The kids outside, my two oldest. We chilling. That's how we always do. Being in a tiny home, chilling, watching Apple TV, doing work. Kids outside playing. So, come one time, August. We inside the tiny home, kids outside. Kids come running the house, yelling, "Oh no, the laser!" We like, what? The laser? So, pretty much, allegedly, my kid said the BNSF train came down the track. So I have like the train track, I would say, 400 yards away from my tiny home, so it's pretty close. So the kids was like, they was like, the train is shining a laser on me, and I'm like, what? I'm like, the train is shining a laser. I'm like tripping out. I'm like, the train shined the laser on you, and think about it now. We live in a crazy world. When you think laser, you think a freaking long barrel rifle, someone trying to shoot you. So that's when I'm all like, telling my kids, like, really, this happened. So, I ain't even gonna lie, they said it happened. I almost was like, maybe they thought they saw a laser, you know what I mean? Maybe they thought they saw a laser. That's what I was thinking. So, that's, I was like, man, that's crazy. Now, after that, I would say a few weeks later, I'm outside. Like, I'm just outside at night because, I love going outside at night. Like, when you have open property like that, you can go outside at night and the whole sky lights up. It's like you got the whole sky just right there for you. And you, like, if anybody know, you go on, like, open land and then look up at the sky, you see everything. So, I just loved it. I literally just be outside, 2 o'clock in the morning, just chilling. So this one night, I'm doing me outside, just chilling. So I see the train coming around the track. So I see the train coming, then I see a green laser emitting from the train. This is what I saw. Allegedly, the train driver coming around the track, shining the laser directly on my tiny home, right on my property, came around the track, allegedly shined it directly on me, like from the train. I'm like, I'm recording too. I literally put my phone out, so I don't know if he saw me recording, but it is like pitch black out there, so you probably didn't catch me recording, because allegedly when he came around and saw me recording, that's when he stopped shining the laser. And I was sitting there and I was like, man, I'm laughing about it, because I was like, man, it's like, the reason I'm laughing about it, I'm like, my kid said this happened, and then I'm witnessing this myself. Like, the freaking train, allegedly the train worker is literally shining a laser at me coming around the track. Crazy. So, and then I'm missing parts. So I'm missing parts. Well, I'm missing parts. Y'all gotta bear with me. I'm getting into this. So fast forward, when I was building my tiny home, first started building my tiny home, I would get harassed. So the BNSF police allegedly would come and harass me and ask me, am I building on railroad property? I done showed these people, like, look, I own this property. I done showed them the deed. I'm like, what are you talking about? There's many people that own property adjacent to railroad tracks. It don't mean they're on the railroad track, building anything. So they used to call and complain allegedly about me building on my property, and that caused the police to come out and question me. So they would allegedly come out and question me about, what am I doing? I would have to let them know, like, hey, here's my deed. I own this property. So I did that. That was early on. So now let me hop back to the harassment, the alleged harassment that was going on. So I caught the train shining a laser allegedly at me on the property. So I went to San Bernardino Sheriff's Department. So allegedly, when I went to San Bernardino Sheriff's Department, I did a police report, talked to the sheriffs, and I was telling them, I'm like, hey, this person come around on the train shining the laser. The next time, I'm not going, I'm gonna take it as a threat, and I'm gonna retaliate, and something like go flying back at him. That's what I told. I literally told cops that. That's just straight up. Like, we live in a crazy world. I don't know what someone on there going AWOL, mad at the world. I don't know. So I told the sheriffs, I said, hey, y'all need to let them know. Don't be playing with that laser. They done had it on my kids allegedly. They had it on me allegedly. So I told them, I said, allegedly, if it happens again, something gonna go flying allegedly. That's what I just told him. So he was like, all right, he took my story and everything, and I even gave him the video. I gave him the video. I said, look, it's on video. Like, look. He said, all right. Allegedly, what he told me is that, he know them. He know the guys. He'll talk to them. They wouldn't do it again. He even told me now that they don't even supposed to have anything on them when they're on the train. Because I asked him, I was like, that dude could have a gun or something. We don't know what it is. He was like, nah, it's a toy. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? But no one shined the laser on his kids. You know what I mean? So I'm like, don't worry about it. Like, all right. I'm just telling y'all. You know what I mean? Because you gotta understand, when you in the boonies like that, well, I'm at, you in the middle of the desert. So people told me when I got the property, it was like, man, you out here, you gotta be your own police. So I'm already the sheriff on my land. So I had to tell that sheriff, like, hey, you had to protect the fort if you got to protect the fort. So that's what allegedly happened. I gave the report. This was in 2023. Fast forward, in 2023, it's going down. So all the railroad workers around there, it's tense. Just a lot of alleged harassment going on. I mean, blowing the horn, allegedly blocking the train tracks so you can't get by. So I can't, because my property is literally like 3 miles from Route 66, so it's 3 miles off the main road. So you got to take back tracks just to get to my property. So allegedly they would block the tracks for hours on end. So thinking they trapped me back there. The workers would be driving aggressive in the back. Just real weird, harassing things. This is just the alleged behavior of these guys, and I'm like, we back here just chilling. Like, what's all the animosity coming from? So fast forward a few months, laser shining still, allegedly. They start shining the headlight on the train, so they start shining like flashlights from the train, allegedly. they start, just doing like real weird stuff, and I'm catching this stuff because understand I'm James Bond, you know what I mean? I know technology, so I got, cameras out there to, watch everything. I'm catching these people doing this harassment stuff the whole time. I'm like, I'm catching you on camera. So allegedly I start calling their dispatch, BNSF dispatch, telling them like, hey, your train workers out here. I already called them before about the laser. I keep on calling them like, hey, your train people out here playing games. I'm telling them like, hey, like I gotta protect myself. I don't know what they doing. They need to stop. So fast forward to another day. I would say this is probably like maybe 2024. I'm outside again, chilling. The train stopped adjacent to the property. So I see like one of the workers walking on the ground off the train. So I'm like, okay, I'm checking them out. Like, I understand it's pitch black out there. You can't see what's going on. Unless your eyes are trained. My eyes are trained out there in the dark because I do it every night. So the dude, the BNSF worker, allegedly shining the flashlight at me on the property, like shining it on my property as if instead of him doing his job with the train, he's like focused in on my property for something. So I'm like looking at him. So he's shining the light on me and stuff like that. So I'm like, oh man, I got something for him. So allegedly, yeah, he was shining the light. So I got up allegedly. I got my, 5,000 lumens flashlight, and I've shined it on him. I'm like, hey man, like, what's going on? I didn't say nothing. I just shined it on him. And then he cut his light off after that. So I guess after he noticed I was out there, he stopped shining his light after that. So, he doing his thing. Mind you, I only shined my light on him once after they were shining the light on me multiple times. I shined the light on him once, letting him know, like, hey, I'm out here watching you do this stuff. Watching them allegedly shine the light on me, on my property. So, after that, I'm out there chilling. I don't worry about them. I enjoy my property and enjoy doing my thing. The freaking person in the train allegedly turned the big headlight from the train, so the train is like pointing away from me. The fool in the train allegedly turned the big train headlight around and literally just lit up my whole property. Like I'm like a deer in the headlights, freaking bright light shining on me, sitting in my freaking office chair in the front of my door, like got me light up. So I'm like, man, these people are crazy. So I freaking run and hide behind the tiny home because I'm like, man, I don't know what they doing. So, long story short, that night, I remember calling BNSF dispatch again. Allegedly, I don't know, my complaints ain't getting heard or what. Now, this night I'm calling them. Allegedly, they literally laughing on the phone. Like, I'm calling an emergency line. I'm telling them, like, hey, these people still, like, messing with me. I be calling y'all. They're laughing at me on the phone, allegedly. Not even taking nothing that I have serious. That's like in, 2024. Fast forward, 2024. Allegedly, still harassment. So, obviously, when I told the cops that wasn't nothing. When I call their dispatch, that ain't nothing. Still harassment. So now around this time, the workers are around there doing work. So they're putting in a second track. So they're around there heavy. So, man, it's just, every time I'm coming and going, I got workers stopping me, asking me about my barbecue. I got workers stopping, asking me, oh man, I see you get up to work every day. Like, they being weird. I see workers coming asking me just weird questions, man. I see y'all back there homesteading. I see you had this car. I see you had this rental truck. I see you like weird stuff, man. Like grown men allegedly just in my business. And I'm still being cordial at this time because I'm thinking it's only the BNSF train guys, whoever that is, allegedly, that's been shining the laser. I didn't think, no one else is doing this. I think it's just one guy, just shining the laser, being jokey. It's other companies around there. Other large companies. So they're just bothering me in my business, like just extra nosy, like asking about everything, stopping me, waving me down, telling me they paved the road for me when I know it ain't true. Just alleged, just a lot of crazy stuff that I would just let slide. I was just like, I ain't even sweating them, boy. I'm living a good life. You understand, when I got the property, I felt like I was retired. Like, I don't got to do nothing. I know solar power. All I got to do is sell this barbecue and do my tech businesses, and I'm good. So, they just bothering, like crazy bothering. So we will fast forward to 2024. We in 2024. Let's fast forward to like summertime, like 2024. Stuff start going missing on the property, allegedly. So I'm like, man, I'm missing my gas tank going missing. You gotta understand, man. I'm chilling. I'm living good, so I ain't even focused. So, I'm stuff just going missing, just little weird stuff just going missing. Bags getting cut open. We got a family cat named Mortar. I'm thinking the cat is ripping bags open, just destroying the property, and I'm like, man, I gotta cage the cat, man. I let him be free, let him enjoy the property. I'm like, man, I gotta cage the cat when we leave. Like, he like scratching stuff, damaging stuff. I'm like, man, and the cat never did this before now. Cat never damaged nothing. So, cat damaging stuff. I'm like, man, why is the cat ripping bags up? I'm seeing like trash and debris starting to pop up. I'm like, man, nah, man, I take care of this stuff more than that. I'm like, how is this happening? Boom. Borough Land Management come give me a ticket. Dudes start popping up allegedly from the Borough Land Management. Start telling me I need to clean the property. And I'm telling this man, I'm like, hey, I understand. I don't know how this property got like this. I'm like, I'm missing things. I'm telling this man, I'm missing tools. I'm missing just little things just coming up missing. I'm like, man, it got me tripping out. I'm thinking the wind doing it. I'm thinking the cat doing it. I just don't know. So he talked about he wanted to give me a ticket. Just harassing. He started popping up. I would go do barbecue down the street. This dude from BLM allegedly come popping up on me while I'm doing my barbecue business, telling me about trash on my property that's miles away. Weird stuff, man. I'm telling y'all, weird stuff. But I'm making all this money with barbecue. I ain't paying no bills. I'm living good. I'm not sweating none of this. I'm laughing it off. I'm like, man, that's a ticket. Like, okay, y'all, we'll figure it out. So, fast forward even deeper in the freaking, I would say this is about July. This July. Crazy July. So I had solar power out there and I had wind turbine power. So around this time, man, we watching Apple TV like crazy because I got the wind turbine. So we got power forever, like everything working, you can charge everything, we good. So one day I went outside and I disconnected the wind turbine because the wind turbine was doing so much. It had my battery so charged. I had like the whole solar battery, the whole, I spent thousands of dollars on the setup too. And I spent a lot of money on stuff on my property so we can be comfortable, so we can live modern in the desert. So I spent a lot of money on stuff. So I disconnect the wind turbine. Then it was a few days later, I started seeing, the power drift down on the meter. I was like, let me set the wind turbine back up. The freaking wind turbine turning all funny, making noise, like it wouldn't even turn. So I'm sitting there like, man, what the hell wrong with this wind turbine? Like, why the wind turbine all like bent? And it's high, it's a high wind area, so the wind go crazy out there. So I'm like, why is my wind turbine messed up? So I'm thinking like, man, the wind mess up the wind turbine. I know it sounds crazy. Now that I think about it, I know I sound fool. Like my fiance, she was like, the wind mess up the wind turbine. How's that possible? She was saying this stuff. But I'm like, what else messed it up? Like, it gotta be the wind messed it up. Like, who came back here who messed it up? Mind you now, I got a PTZ high value camera on a 16-foot pole. So I can monitor it remotely. It works. You can zoom, like you can do all type of stuff. On a 16-foot pole camera, it catches everything. It can look over the mountains. It can look at the whole property. So, you know, I'm checking the camera, don't see nothing. I'm like, man, like, why my wind turbine messed up? I had to go out there one day. I'm like, man, why is it messed up? Why is it messed up? That's going on now. So at the same time, we would leave, you know, go get things from the store. I would haul a bunch of water in, haul a bunch of food, ice, just different things so we can be comfortable. Man, I would go to the store, come back, stuff will be missing. Like, I'll have some bags, like a roll of bags just sitting someplace. So I would come back and, you know, I would go get the bags. I want to put some stuff in the bags. You know, there's a lot of sand out there in the desert. I don't want, you know, certain things we buy from Costco. I don't want it to get dirty. So I want to put it in, you know, a bag so it'll be good. Bags missing. Like crazy stuff. Like, stuff will be moved around on the property. I come back, a box I know I had right there, and I moved over to the side. Like some weird stuff. Like, you would think a ghost back there haunting us or something. Like, you know, I know wussy. I'm just like, you know, I'm trying to find explanations for this stuff. Remember coming back one day, checking out, so we pulling up, I'm looking at my camera pole, and I just remember thinking, I'm like, why is my camera pole lean to the side a little bit? Like, it ain't been lean, it just been leaned a little bit. Like, you know, when you around your property, around your house, you see different things, and you remember how something looked because you left it like that, and that's how it's supposed to been there like that. So I'm like, I know ain't nobody touched my camera pole. Okay, this is a high wind area now. The wind blows a lot, but the camera pole was in that ground tight. It never moved, so it just all of a sudden want to move now. Checking the camera, just crazy stuff going on. Crazy stuff going on. Then, just crazy stuff, man. Like I tell you, allegedly a lot of crazy stuff. Stuff just thrown around the property, man. Weird, just real weird stuff. Like a box will be shifted, like just like little weird stuff. And I'm like, man, like who is slashing the bags? They be slashing the bags open. Just, I'm like tripping out. Just like checking the camera, don't see nothing. Don't know what going on, man. Of course, the camera would be down sometimes, but at this moment, I'm not thinking nothing about the camera being down or it's missing certain hour blocks out of it and stuff like that. I'm not tripping. So, you know, I'm like, okay. Fast forward. November. So this is a couple of days before November. Eating. I remember we got out, went down the street, set up the barbecue. Like I say, eating with the barbecue. The barbecue going stupid. You can't help the South Carolina flavor. So I understand this time I'm doing so good with the barbecue business. Chilling out, enjoying life. You know, come back home, just counting cash. Ain't worry about nothing. I'm not even, that's why I wasn't even noticing this stuff. Because it was like, oh, you know, my box of tools missing. Oh, well, I'll get another one. You know, My big, it's like a freaking 100 tool kit of the Walt tools is missing. I'm not tripping. I'm like, that's how good it is. I'm not tripping. I'm like, either it's someplace on this property, because it's 5 acres. I said, at least it's someplace on this property, I'll get another one. So I'm not even really thinking. So we're in freaking November. That's a few days before Thanksgiving. We went down the street to do the barbecue. It used to be me and my fiance and my kids. That's all we used to do. We just go do barbecue and come back home and chill out. That's all we used to do. Like free life, ain't doing nothing. Ain't bothering nobody, ain't nobody bothering us. We chilling. Well, I thought ain't nobody been bothering us. I thought ain't nobody been bothering us. So, this few days before Thanksgiving, boom. So we come back, daylight now. This was a good day. Something weird too. We come back, so the family in the area in Ludlow allegedly used to harass me. They used to call the cops on me. There's a long story with that too. I'll talk about that another time with CHP allegedly. So what was weird that day is one of those family members of this creepy family around there, they own like all the gas stations. They pretty much own the town, so they used to like me popping up making no money, even though I used to bring them business. One of their family members come to me all weird, like I always see this dude, he never say nothing to me, but just this day, it's weird, he won't come say something to me. And man, is he tickled. He just feeling good. He telling me he got a barbecue, he want me to buy it. Talking about, yeah, I got this barbecue and it got the propane tank right on it. And I'm like, okay, like propane, I don't use propane. I cook in wood. I use all natural wood with this food here. I don't use no propane. I got a propane tank, but he just weird. Like, it's still on the propane tank. He like, let me know propane tank. I'm like, all right, like, okay. He telling me, hey, come back to his trailer. He gonna show me a grill. I might want to buy it. I'm cordial. When I'm in business mode, I'm cordial with anyone. I'm talking to anyone. I ain't tripping. I say, oh yeah, man, I'm gonna come talk to you. I just know he was just in a good mood that day. I was like, but I'm in a good mood too. I'm cleaning up out here. So I'm like, yeah, it's get about time to wind down. I'm like, man, I better head on out. We ain't got to sit out here too long. I done did good for the day. So, we went back. Like I say, man, it's just crazy now that I think about it. It's like, even when you doing good in life, you got to pay attention. You got to pay attention. So we went back to the property, chilling. So ain't nobody, we went back to the property, I guess. Everybody been on their cellular device. They ain't need to charge it. So, you don't even got to use power. That's crazy. People don't understand. Like, you don't even need to use power every day. We'll be some days not even using the power. Everything will be charged up. We good. So I guess I shouldn't get in the bed and going to sleep. We done there. So we got back there daylight. Been there for hours. Everyone, me, my fiance, my kids, we've been there for hours. So we probably left the barbecue probably around 4. Got back to the property 4:30. Been there from daylight 4:30 probably until like, I would say 8 o'clock. So my fiance was like, oh, Dustin is getting kind of cool. Go set the propane tank up, because we had the big buddy. Y'all campers know you plug the big buddy in, you're good. That heat, you're good. You know what I mean? It's like you got centurion heat with that thing. So I'm like, where's that? I'm looking over to the door, because I built in a little hole into the tiny home where I can, siphon in the hose for the propane, to keep it safe. You got a big long propane hose. One end goes into the hole into the home, tiny home. The other end goes out to the propane tank, so the propane tank can be in a safe distance, from the home, safety first. So I'm in the bed looking, I'm like, man, I don't see the hose in the hole. Like, the hole is just open. Again, I'm not thinking nothing. I'm like, maybe it snagged someone's foot. You walk outside, it snagged your foot and you pulled it out the hole. Okay, that happened. That doesn't happen before. So I'm like, I'm chilling. I'm like, okay. So I going outside, getting up. I'm like, okay, let me go outside. They're like, oh, it's getting cold. Go outside to cut the heater on. So it's dark, mind you. I forgot stuff in the story. I forgot stuff in the story, people. Okay, let's jump skip days before the thing, the November. I don't know. This was probably August. This was a little bit days. Okay, yeah, we in the same time frame. This is in the same time frame as the days before Thanksgiving. So I would say November the 15th. My fiance like, man, you weird. I get up, all of a sudden just walk outside. This is a few days. This is like November 15th. Just weird. I just felt it. Got up, walk outside. I walk outside. Police lights are blazing. I'm seeing police lights. I'm seeing all type of stuff like they done SWAT my tiny home. I start recording. So I walk out there, it's freaking BNSF police allegedly, and come to find out, Pinkerton security. At this time, I had no understanding of Pinkerton security. I don't know what Pinkerton security is. Never heard of Pinkerton, allegedly. But this was Pinkerton outside my home, allegedly, with BNSF police, allegedly. So I went outside recording. I'm like, what are y'all doing? So I thought these people trying to shoot me because we think of the setting now. Of course, mad black man come outside with a gun and they just shoot me for no reason. So I pull out my phone and start waving like, hey, what y'all doing? So I walked up. The freaking BNSF police allegedly talk about something. Oh, we just saw y'all out here. Y'all got water? And I'm like, man, you know I live out here, and just so happened, which is weird, I was by my car and water was on the ground, like jugs of waters. And I picked up a jug of water. I'm saying, look, you know I got water. And he just walked away. Now, what happened earlier that day when we came home, my child was playing with the light flickering. And, we in the open. And I said, oh, no, don't play with that. Because, these fools around here allegedly harassing us. They could take that as a distress signal. Oh, he's doing something to these kids. He's doing something. Y'all know how the games is. They gonna call the cops. He's doing something, and it's a distress signal out there. Then it's crazy how I call stuff. That's after that happened. My child was playing with the lights, flickering the lights. Then we went inside, and that's what happened later. They came talking about some, oh, we just want to see if you got water. Just BS, allegedly. So that was that day. It was like 4 of them out there. They showed up like it was a SWAT team exercise, allegedly. So that was that day. I recorded that day. And I remember that day recording like, man, these people crazy. They must be want me to sue them or something. Like, it was weird. That's the first time I've thought like, and this is after like 2 years of harassment. This is like after 2 years of harassment. Alleged harassment. So they, that happened that night. So let's get back to the day that, the weird guy came and telling me he want to sell me a grill. Like, I have multiple grills. I don't need a grill. It's just so weird. And then he's a family member of that Lullo family, allegedly. So, I brushed him off. My fiance like, I know you're not going to see that guy. I was like, nah, I was just telling her, like, I was just doing that Hollywood talk. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna come check you out, but I ain't even got to go check him out. I'm about to go count my money and lay down. That's all I'm about to go do. So, we get back. Like I said, we at the property, I would say like 4 hours. We there for 4 hours. Chilling. Like, ain't nothing going. I'm sleeping. Everybody doing what they do. So we back to the point I'm waking up. Because my fiance said, go ahead and cut the heater on. I'm like, let me go cut the heater on. So I'm going out to cut the heater on. So I get outside. I look to the side. My propane tank is gone. And I'm thinking, did I take the propane? Because, I take the propane tank to get full up sometimes. Like, did I get it filled up and left it in the car? So I'm scratching my head. I'm like, I see the hose is going too. I'm like, did I, I'm still like naive. Like, I'm thinking I did something. So I come back in the house, I'm like, somebody moved the propane tank? And my fiance look at me like, no. And then that's when I just, you got that feeling, man. You got that feeling like, nah. So I asked her, I'm like, y'all cut the power on? And she was like, nah, we didn't need it. And I'm like, now the most valuablest thing out there is that solar equipment. So you know what I did? I walked over to my solar setup. As soon as I looked in that bin and I saw my $1,000 solar battery going, I was like, they got me. Tripped out. Like I'm like, I'm mad, I'm upset, thinking I don't know who did this now. I don't know who did this. Tripping out. I'm like, so I'm start going in my flashlight, walking around. My heater's going. All my stuff going. All my solar stuff going. They took my freaking Armor All car cleaner. Allegedly now, they took the $2 car cleaner. I got has an Armor All. I'm gonna clean the car. They took it. Allegedly, they took it. Gone. All my whole solar gone. Them boy take the battery. Had to be more than one person. The battery is super heavy. You can't, it's hard. I can do it myself because of my size, but it's hard to do. So I know. Took about a couple of them, the stuff they took. They took heaters. This took a lot of stuff, man. Allegedly, just wiped me out. So what they mainly took is the infrastructure. So they wiped out my infrastructure as if you take all the stuff that we utilized back there to survive. So I'm tripping this late at night. I'm like, man, what to do? So I'm like, let me call the San Bernardino police. Allegedly, tell them what happened. And I was like, nah, I don't even want them coming back here. Cause it just was iffy. I just didn't feel, I didn't trust nobody, man. Cause like I said, I done told them years ago, they ain't did nothing. So I'm like, man, I said, bump it. I'm gonna go drive to Barstow and meet them in the parking lot in Barstow. So I called back dispatch. I said, nah, don't send nobody down here. Don't worry, I'm gonna meet y'all up there in Barstow. So allegedly, we got to Barstow, tripping, man. I'm like, who took all my stuff? I'm pissed off. I'm from Charleston, dog. You gotta go handle that. I'm pissed off. I don't care. I'm in California. Everybody gonna get it. So, going to talk to the cops. Telling them like, hey, man, I got hit back there. One cop talking to me, the other cop super disrespectful. Now, if you want to know who this cop is, allegedly, go look. It's public records. Clemons versus San Bernardino County. You can go look at it on Pacer. I got the officers' names. The whole situation is in there. Like I say, all this stuff is public record. That's why I'm tired of people asking me, messaging me about it. I'm just like, man, I'm going to have to put it all out there, man. Because especially how the litigation going now is going so crazy. So, I'm talking to the cops. I'm telling the cop, like, hey, they hit me for my stuff, man. Allegedly, they don't care, man. They literally is like whatever's about it. Like, I'm like, I didn't know this how it is, because I never really had crimes enacted upon me like that, and had to go to the cops and really do a police report. You know what I mean? Where I'm from, you just get in the car and go handle that. You know what I mean? But when it's an unknown, it's like, I'm out thousands of dollars. I need insurance to kick in. I need to, get a police report. You know what I mean? You got to deal with the cops. You got to, get the police report and insurance, stuff like that. So, long story short, man, they highly disrespectful, allegedly. I didn't really feel like they gave a flying whatevers about what happened. The other cop, who is currently involved in the suit, allegedly, he just literally, as I was talking, turned his back on me and walked right off like I ain't nobody. I'm like, oh, that's how you get down? All right. So, allegedly that's what happened. Then after that, I'm tripped out, man. I'm like, I think we had to go get a hotel that night, man. I'm just tripped out. Can't even handle myself at the hotel because I want to hurry to get back and start collecting evidence. Like, who did it? Because it's pitch black out there. I managed that night because we did go back that night and I took a couple pictures. But I couldn't really get anything. I just got pictures of, I could tell it was a vehicle on the property. And they had to put a vehicle on the property to get all the stuff. It had to be a truck to get all of the stuff off the property. The things that they took, it took me weeks, multiple different vehicles to bring these things to the property. So they were prepared, and it was multiple people, allegedly. So, get it to the next morning. I'm like, man, I'm scanning the ground. I'm looking at the tire tracks. I'm Watson out there. I'm magnifying glass, collecting evidence. They took everything. They came in the house. That's what we figured out when we went back. We thought they took everything outside the house. They took stuff out the house. They took a fan, Costco fan, equipment and stuff out the house. Allegedly, they stole stuff out the house. Crazy. And that's my woman been really upset with that when we figured out they came in our house, man, because that was our sanctuary. No one but our family. I built that structure from the ground up. And nobody but our family been up in there. Nobody with my fiance, my kids only. So it was a sacred place for us, man. She was just real upset about that, man, when we realized, like, damn, they actually came in here. So, and it's crazy because weeks before that, my fiance and the kids was at, their grandparents' house, and I was just on the property by myself, feeling paranoid. At this time, I was doing the low-end tech. I felt someone coming to property because I got super ill. And now, after, everything came out, man, I think they literally, allegedly came in and put something on my pillow to make me sick, man. Because I was so sick around this time. I was looking up like freaking lung cancer, man. I'm thinking I couldn't breathe. I couldn't work. So, allegedly, I'm thinking before they came into my tiny home and put something on my pillow, like they tried to drug me. Now, this is something I haven't brought up during the litigation, but when it gets to the trial, I'm going to bring this up and I'm going to prove this to the jury that, yeah, they literally came into my house allegedly and drugged me weeks before. So, like I said, it's crazy stuff going on, people, crazy stuff. So, let's jump back to after the major grand theft. So, this is probably, I would say, the 24th. We leaving the property, so I already took tire tracks. So, just crazy stuff. Fast forward Thanksgiving, we back out the property, man. You know me, man. I'm about to let nobody drive me off my property. I'm thinking I'm in the old days, slave days. Gotta protect your property with the shotgun. Anybody just drive me off my property, I pay for this. This is my setup. I got business out here. I got customers out here. You ain't riding me off my block. No. So we back chilling out Thanksgiving, grilling out on the property, just enjoying the Thanksgiving day. After the theft now, after the theft, my fiance is very upset. She do not like it. But I'm like, hey, I ain't about to get wussied off like that. Like, we gonna figure out who did this. And then whoever did it gonna see that I ain't going no place. That's how I felt. I felt like they were trying to drive me away from the property. Because they took infrastructure type items and, just stuff that would keep us good on the property. So, you know, it's just crazy. So this is now, we fast forward Thanksgiving Day. Allegedly, the Pinkerton security guards stalking us on Thanksgiving Day, allegedly. We on the property, the truck pull up. Allegedly, I don't know nothing about Pinkerton. At this moment, I'm not even thinking these the guys that took the stuff. I'm thinking like, oh, they just around here working just like the other workers, and they just want to intimidate me and harass just like all the other workers. That's what I'm thinking at this moment. So of course, we got iPhones. We recording this guy all like moving crazy, all like, you know, and he's like on the train track, on the other side of the train track. So he's not on my property. So you know me, I'm like, okay, he just want me to like get mad and come off my property and try to do something so it can be an issue. So my fiance, she freaking pulling out the phone, getting hysterical, recording this guy. He literally got binoculars looking at us like a freaking peeping Tom, allegedly. Peeping Tom just straight looking at us with binoculars. So we recording this fool, he all breathing hard, looking crazy. I'm tripping. I'm like, man, this dude, he just putting on a performance. He really want me. I'm thinking he wanted me to get mad so I come off my property, try to do something, and then boom, they got me. Like, look, yeah, he came and do this, you know. I'm still thinking it's just a setup. I'm not thinking like, okay, this is the guy who stole the stuff, you know. I'm like, you know, aren't y'all men? Do y'all have jobs? I'm thinking it's someone who don't have anything and need a $2 bottle of Armor All. I didn't think it was a Pinkerton security guy. I thought, you know, Pinkerton paid him good, you know, allegedly. So I'm sitting there like, you know, I'm telling my girl like, just chill out, man. He could just say he doing his job. If we try to do something or call anybody, he could just say, oh, I'm doing my job. Because, you know, he wasn't on my property. He was on the railroad property. And he could just say he doing his job. He could just say, oh, I was looking at something far behind him. You know how the game go. So I was like, you know, just don't sweat it, man. Crazy. The dude speed off and left, allegedly. Come back with a second person. Allegedly, yes, came back with a second person. 2 trucks out there now. They all looking at us from afar like some peeping Toms on some weird stuff. Allegedly, this is what they doing on Thanksgiving Day. They stalking the family on Thanksgiving Day, literally looking at me on my property with my shirt off, cooking on the grill while my kids run around on the property and play. That's what the Pinkerton security was doing, allegedly, looking at us. So, you know, I don't know this dude, don't know him. Fast forward past that. Now, we still living on the property. I would say weeks later, we get into December. Like, this is a little bit right before December. We come back one night again. So we come back this night. Clearly someone was at the property. They literally, so this time it was no mysterious, oh, was that there, or did it get moved, or did this happen? We already know they robbed the property, but this next time they didn't rob anything, they were just destroying it. So they would come and like trash the property now. So it started getting crazy. I mean, we pulled up that night and I would go check, and I remember coming back to tell my girl like, nah, we can't even stay here tonight, man, because they done ransacked the place, man. Allegedly they done ransacked the place. So we had to leave. So what started happening, I would say, we decided to leave the property, and I would say, because my son was being born, so we was going to have the baby in the desert. We was going to have it down in the city where the technology at. So we left the property around my fiance's birthday, around the beginning of December. left the property. Now, I would still come up and check on my property because I know what was going on, and I still wanted to keep a presence. I didn't want the people to think like, yeah, you got me away from the property. Like, nah, I real one. You ain't about to intimidate me, especially you being a ghost and not really showing your face. Now, at this time, I know BNSF workers allegedly harassing me. Of course, they've been doing it for years, shining lasers, shining lights, intimidation tactics. But now we got the Pinkerton employees doing the harassment. This is the first time me ever hearing about Pinkerton, knowing about Pinkerton. I don't know nothing about that. I had to, I don't know. Allegedly, it was the Pinkerton guys doing the harassment on Thanksgiving Day. Fast forward, like I said, beginning in December, we staying down in the city now. But I'm still going up to my property. Y'all, going up to the property. These fools are coming back to the property, ransacking the property every day. I would go one day, ransack, clean up stuff, going through my personal stuff, allegedly going through our personal documents, pulling my degrees out, throwing them around and stuff. I had this stuff packed up, just destroying our stuff, doing this on a daily basis. I would have to come back and forth. Every time I come back, I would have to take pictures of tire tracks. I'm telling the guy at BLM, hey, they still coming back. Allegedly, ain't doing nothing. I'm telling San Bernardino County sheriffs, hey, these dudes still coming back. They ain't saying nothing to me. They ain't even saying nothing to me. They ain't return the email, nothing. They just like nothing. I'm like, man. So I'm getting pissed off at this time. I'm turning into freaking Rambo / James Bond / Terminator. I'm turning into all type of stuff. I'm online researching. I'm looking up all type of booby traps. I'm looking at booby trap stuff. I'm looking at low light, high light radars. I'm looking at trackers. I'm looking at all this. I just went head first into security, booby trapping, that whole industry. And it went crazy, man. I got booby traps that if you trip the line, it shoots a bullet at you. Like I went crazy. I still got this stuff. Luckily, I didn't need it. The cameras did the job. So I bought trail cameras. I brought Wi-Fi cameras to put on the roof. I went all in. I got hidden cameras. I got bugging equipment. I got freaking heat-seeking goggles so at night I can see you coming. I went all in, like spending money to catch these people. I'm like, man, I'm gonna catch these dummies. They literally coming back and forth. I'm still thinking like it can't be the workers. Like these are white collar workers. They getting paid good. They ain't coming to take my stuff. And then at this point, they not even taking stuff. They're just ransacking the place. So, like I said, it's getting crazy. It's getting crazy at this moment. So I'm going back up, installing new cameras. Every day I'm installing new cameras. I ain't put the booby traps up yet. I'm like, because the booby trap can get me in trouble. Like I said, I'm gonna put that booby trap up. Soon as you open that door, bah! And I would have come back to the body lane there. I'm telling you, I would have come back to, I done had it planned out. You can open the door a little bit, bah! You was gonna be laying there. That's how you was gonna be. I was gonna be like, hey, you see them trespassing signs? I done put tire spikes in the driveway. I'm talking about James Bond stuff now. You know the low, he pressed the button, the tire spikes drop? Yeah, I had those in the driveway. Yeah, we was on that time now. We was gonna get them. I was gonna get some DNA left on the scene. We was gonna get some DNA on the scene. That's what we was gonna do. So I'm going up there every day, setting up the cameras, setting up the booby traps. Boom. Crazy day happened. January the 18th, allegedly, January the 18th, 2026. I'm in Burbank, doing barbecue, getting money. selling the sauces, selling the family secret gold, you know what I mean? Getting this money. Still getting the money, like all the stuff going on, you know, that's the property, we'll get that handled. So I told my fiance, I was like, hey, make sure, I told her to watch the cameras that day, you know, because I started to pick up on there what they like to do. They like to show up on the weekends. They like to show up where, oddly enough, on the weekends, it's more train traffic and there's less workers back there. Allegedly now, so that's why I realized, like, man, he started coming on the weekends. So this was a Saturday, I believe. This is a Saturday. Told her now I'm leaving the hotel. I'm telling her that morning, like, hey, go ahead and check out the cameras. So I'm like out there chilling. Just chilling. This is like in the morning, like around 10 o'clock. I know I just checked the camera. I ain't look back at it. I'm like, you know, it'll catch you. My fiance called me. Look, he's on camera. I'm like, what? She's like, look, the camera got him. I'm like, what? The camera got who? The guy. The camera got the guy. I'm like, the camera got the guy? She said, yeah, look at the phone. So lucky I got my computer. I heard it. Now I had my computer, I had my phone. I heard it get on the phone. Gray Pinkerton branded truck pulling up on the property. Allegedly. On camera, allegedly. Pulling up. Like, hey, just like if y'all look at the gas station encounters, what he'd say? Looking up at the camera? Hey, the Pinkerton employee allegedly pulling up, looking up at my camera. I'm like, man, at this time now, like I said, I didn't know it was Pinkerton still. I didn't know who it was. Allegedly, I didn't know who it was. I just saw a gray truck with a logo pulling up on my property. I'm like elated. I'm like, yeah, we got him. But let's get checked back in now. The person is on the property currently right now. So I'm looking at the cameras. My east camera go down. I'm like, oh, he doing something to the cameras. My west camera go down. Like, I just put 3 brand new cellular cameras on the roof with 3 separate cellular networks. That's how I had to go crazy on them. 3 different cellular networks. So if one of them can catch you, the other one can catch you. You jam the other signal, the other one can catch you. Now my Wi-Fi camera on a 16-foot pole is still on the property as well. So I'm looking at the screen, my camera's going down allegedly. I'm like, man, one camera, the fool throw on the roof, is just showing the sky. So he took this one out. So, make a long story short, all 3 cameras went down. Only one camera was still active, and that was showing the sky. So, crazy, man. Crazy. So, I'm calling the cops. I'm like, hey, I got the dude. I've been telling him, hey, remember the theft? I got the people. The cop on the phone. Oh, we not over there. Acting all weird now. That's the same cop. The same cop. Look up San Bernardino. Clemons versus San Bernardino. Go to Pacer. You can look at the complaint. The same cop in the complaint I'm talking to. Now, this fool say, I'm going to go check it out. All right. Crazy. I'm telling him, like, hey, you go check it out or what? Say, you go check it out. So, I'm looking at my cameras going down. I'm all the way in Burbank, freaking hundreds of miles away. I'm like, man, like, they always, like, coming when I'm not there. Like, why you ain't showing up when I'm there? Like, be real. So I'm pissed off. Got to rely on the cops to go check it out. I'm just hot. So he called back again. I'm like, hey, what y'all doing? Like, y'all going to check out the web? Y'all going to check out the property or what? I'm about to say go check out the website. I said, y'all about to go check out the property or what? He, man, getting attitude with me on the phone. Like, why is the cop attitude with the victim on the phone? Like, it's weird. Like, he acting like he didn't want to do his job. He like, oh, y'all go check it out. So, man, I'm like, what's going on? Like, so he was like, man, they're going to take him, he said he on the other side of the town. They're going to take him 2 hours to get over there. I know it takes time to drive in the area. So I'm like, bet, man, let's just monitor the camera. So I get back on the phone talking to my girl. I'm like, hey, like, dang, you did a good job. You caught him. He was looking at the camera, just telling her, like, yeah, we got him. Like, good, we got him now. We got a logo on the truck. Like, we got the logo on the truck. Like, at this time, I don't know what the logo was. I'm like, the logo on the truck. And, man. So, the cop called back, like, I would say, like, 30 minutes later, allegedly. He called back. I'm answering questions. I'm like, what's going on? Did you go to the property? Did you do this? Did you see him? He was like, yeah, I saw him. I'm like, good, you arrested him? No, we ain't arrested him. Now, mind you, I sent pictures to him in email when he was like asking me earlier on in the phone call. He was like, can I get a image of the plate? So I sent him an image of the truck and everything and zoomed in on person. I said, yeah, but I can't make out the plate. But you can see the truck, you can see the person, you can see the logo. So I'm like, man, you ain't arrest him? He was like, nah, he ain't been back there. So I'm like, he ain't arrest him. He gave him some story about us, a cartel outpost. I don't know what. And I'm telling him, I'm telling this guy, like, no, they know we live back there. They was just harassing us on Thanksgiving. Like, they just was looking at us on Thanksgiving. How is he now saying he don't know if that's a cartel outpost? Just giving some old BS story. I'm tripping out at the cop on the phone. The cop hang up on me. Allegedly, the police hang up on me. The same officer, go look it up, Clemons versus San Bernardino County. Go look it up on Pacer. Go Google it. The officer's name is in that complaint. The main officer who I'm talking about. So he called back. No, I don't know if he called back. I called him back and he hung up on me. No. When he hung up on me, it was it. I think I started talking to people at the offices. He was just acting too unprofessional. Before he hung up on me, I made sure I asked him. I was like, so you let this dude go? Who is it? Like, what company is it? Because I'm like, who company is it? You just let them go? Like, what? Let me figure that company out so I can get on them. And he said, Pinkerton Security. And I'm like, Pinkerton Security? I'm like, I don't know what that is, man. I ain't 40, you know. I don't know too much. I don't know everything. You know, allegedly, that's what he said to me. He was like, it's Pinkerton Security. The cop allegedly said it was Pinkerton Security, allegedly. So I'm like, allegedly it's Pinkerton. Like, what is that? So, you know me, I'm a business mind. All I looked up is 100 and something years, and I was like, you already know it's over. So you mean to tell me a company that's been around over 100 something years wanna come mess with little old me? I couldn't believe it when I started looking up the history of this company and who they is. And I'm like, oh, so the railroad police? Not the railroad police, but you know, the railroad police was doing harassment as well. But the security for the railroad, so they protected the railroad for centuries. They got a long history with BNSF, man, a long corrupted history, allegedly. You can go look it up. But I was like, okay, so why is the railroad security coming onto my property committing felony burglary? Allegedly. Why is that? Can someone explain that to me? Because the cop couldn't explain it to me. So I was like, man, like I'm in Burbank. My house just got hit. My cameras went down. There's Pinkerton security allegedly, and the cop just hung the phone up on me. How I supposed to feel? Let's get a picture again. Allegedly, I'm in Burbank trying to make a living. I have property that I purchased as a citizen, have the deed to. Pinkerton security allegedly just came onto my property. Pinkerton security that's protecting BNSF Railway Company, allegedly, came onto my property and smashed my cameras. After they clearly know it's my property, because all of them know that I live back there. Man, you already know.